Hey guys, we're back. We're back like we never left. Okay, sis had to take like a few little minutes break. Judges for mistrial, jurors dismissed. Okay, so you guys know if you're keeping up with Diddy today that they did dismiss. It was a juror number 6. Diddy asked judge for a mistrial if jurors dismissed, accuses prosecution of racial bias. Um And we'll just have to see how that goes. Okay, we're gonna have to see how that goes. We're gonna see how that goes. Sunshine says it's her birthday. Happy birthday, Sunshine. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Are we ready to sing the birthday song? We haven't sang birthday in a while. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Sunshine, happy birthday and may God bless you. Happy birthday to you. Okay. Happy birthday, sis. Thank you for letting us know and giving us the opportunity to wish you a wonderful and beautiful and happy and blessed birthday. Okay. Happy birthday. Okay. Y'all are too kind. 40 ball. Sis is celebrating 40 ball. Wow. Wow. 40 ball. 40 ball was a good one. I enjoyed my 40 ball. I enjoyed my 30 ball. I enjoyed all of them. I've enjoyed them all. Okay. Guys, let's get into it. This came up I think Saturday night. And I was just like, okay, well, this is interesting. Let's get into it. Let's get into it and see what's going on here. Let me fix this. Uh just a second. I'm trying to get this the way. How annoying. I'm trying to join these two together. Okay, this will work now. Okay, there we go. I wanted them all on. Oh, geez. All on one little tab. Okay. All right, guys, let's get into it. You guys, so when we were talking Saturday, it came up. I don't remember. It came so there was a question like how many victims are there? I feel like Vicky asked the question, but I could be wrong. Vicky may have asked the question, how many victims were there on Nesto's indictment? I have no clue. So I went to the actual document to find out. Okay. All right, let's see. This is not my redacted indictment, so I have to be careful how I scroll. I have to be careful how I scroll. Okay. Okay, there we go. I have to be careful how I scroll. Okay. This is the Rico indictment. So the grand jurors aforesaid in the name and behalf of the citizens of Georgia do hereby charge and accuse Earnest Nesto Williams with the offense of violation of the Georgia RICO Corruption Organization Act for the said accused individual. Can someone actually keep track of this for me, please? Let me go to my live monitor just a second, guys. Okay, let's see. Let's get into it. How many victims are mentioned in Nesto's Rico? We fins to find out. Okay, we're getting ready to find out. And here we go. And if please make sure to double tap if you're new here. Make sure to subscribe and set your notifications. That way, when I go live, post videos, do all of the things, you can be notified. You can't be notified if you're not subscribed. Okay. All right, let me fix my thing better. Mm, mm, okay. Oh, I know what to do. Okay. All right. All right. So this is count one. This is so count one is the violation of the Georgia RICO, right? Okay. And it goes into the manner and the methods. I will refresh your memory. From at least December 1st of 2009 through June 30th of 2022, Ernest Williams engaged, this is what the state is saying. Ernest Williams engaged in a pattern of racketeering activity in Fulton County, Georgia, elsewhere in the state of Georgia and in other states. The RICO scheme was designed to defraud unsuspecting individuals, businesses, and government entities with the primary purpose of depriving numerous victims of property. Williams stole United States currency, personal vehicles, motorcycles, coach buses, trailers, automotive parts, and other various services and property, often by falsely promising to help his victims engage in new business ventures, to promote their existing business ventures, or to help them build their brand or imagery. Many of Williams' victims were women, and Williams often used the illusion of romantic and close personal relationships with those victims to manipulate them and to steal from them. As part of the scheme, Williams knowingly entered into fraudulent marriage with Shirley Strawberry, a famous radio host. Williams used the void marriage and high profile celebrity connections he made because of the void marriage to furtherance of other frauds. You see how they said that? Williams used the void marriage and the high profile celebrity connections he made because of the void marriage in furtherance of other frauds. During the course of the scheme, Williams recruited multiple co conspirators, including Erica Kang, who's already been prosecuted. On multiple occasions, Williams solicited King to fraudulently assume the identities of multiple attorneys licensed to in practice law in Georgia in order to deceive law enforcement and the courts, including by appearing in court and by falsely and fraudulently representing Williams in hearings. As part of a pattern of racketeering activity, Williams engaged in various related criminal activities, including but not limited to theft by taking, theft by conversion, theft by deception, theft of services, theft of bringing stolen property into the state, acts involving theft, false swearing, filing false documents, false statements and writings, identity fraud, and deposit account fraud. Baby. You over Did someone object? What? It's not civil. Multiple co-conspirators. Okay. Theft. And that means we just needed to refresh because we haven't read this in a long time. And actually, I never even read this whole thing. I think I read the first few pages to you guys, and we never even went through the whole thing. Hi, boo. Hi, that's it. That's all. Indictments are one thing. Sonia refrains from reading. She doesn't like to read the paperwork, and then she accuses good people like ourselves who know how to read, of making stuff up. Can you believe that? So rude, so nasty, so rude. Why would we do such a thing? Who's girl by? Okay. All right. Acts of racketeering. These are the acts of racketeering. If somebody would, if somebody would, on December 1st, 2009, and December 31st, 2010, the act the exact date being unknown to the grand jury, Ernest Williams did commit a felony offense of theft by conversion. And the first name that comes up is Drusilla Scott. The value of $500 under an agreement to make specified application of such funds, knowingly converting the funds to his own use in violation of the agreement. This was an act of racketeering. So he committed theft by conversion. Unlawfully obtained U.S. currency, the property of Drusilla Scott, in the value exceeding $500. That's the first name on the list is Drusilla Scott. Okay. Act 2. We've got Jasmine Collins, theft by taking. Ernest Williams on January 1st, 2013. The exact date to be unknown. Ernest Williams did committed the felony offense of theft by taking. Okay. Unlawfully taking United States currency and property from Jasmine Collins, the value of which was at least 5,000 but less than 25,000, with the intention of depriving said owner. That'd be Jasmine Collins. Okay. Next we have October 3rd, 2013. Felony offense, theft of services, Fulton County, knowingly obtaining construction and remodeling services which were available only for compensation, the value of which 1,500 but less than 5,000, from Mario Alvarado. Okay. Felony offense of theft of services. Interesting. Knowingly obtaining construction and remodeling services. So he had Mario Alvarado over there doing work and did not pay for it. Between $1,500 to $5,000. Is anybody writing this down? Okay. Anybody writing this down? You don't have to write down the offense, just keep the name. Like, we just wanted to know the names. How many victims were there? Okay. Hopefully someone's taking this down. So we have Drusilla, we got Jasmine, we've got Mario, and then we've got the next one. Let's check it out. Does anybody know Mario Alvarado's story? My God. He stole from Mario construction services, did not pay the man. Okay, we have theft by taking, Crystal Waters. Okay, less than 5,000. Well, less than at least 5,000, but less than 25,000. Crystal Waters, theft by taking. Okay, are we good? Are we clear? That's 4 already. Okay, baby. Let's see. November 2013, we've got at least 5,000, less than 25,000, theft by deception. Melvin Stokes. Okay. By deceitful means. Deceitful means by selling a 1989 Prevost vehicle to Stokes while intentionally failing to disclose a substantial and valid known lien and other legal impediments to the enjoyment of the vehicle, and with the intention of depriving said owner of said property. Okay. Melvin Stokes. Okay. Um, December 16th, 2014, false swearing. in Fulton County that the purported to be an acknowledgement of a lawful oath, knowingly and willfully making false statements that each of Ernest Williams' prior marriages had been dissolved by divorce. He signed a paper stating that he was free, that his previous marriages had all been dissolved by divorce, but that was not true. Ernest was not subject to any legal impediment or other reason. Ernest should not be married. Okay? Said false statements having been made in marriage license application 2014-6319 filed in the probate court in Fulton County, a matter other than judicial proceeding. This was an act of racketeering activity. Okay? 2014, December 6th, filing a false document. Marriage license application 2014-6319 in the probate court, knowing and having reason to know that the document was false and contained materially false statements that each of Ernest Williams' prior marriages had been dissolved. Okay? And that he was not subject to any legal impediment for any reason, that for any reason should not be married. Okay? So it was the false swearing, because you know when you go to get married, you fill out your marriage application and they make you take an oath that all of the information on your document is accurate, to the best of your knowledge. They make you swear. They do. I remember doing that. May 2017 through August, theft by deception in violation of Kentucky 514.040 Fayette County, the property of Chantel Hawker, the value of which exceeded $10,000 by deception and with intent to deprive the owner of said property by creating and reinforcing a false impression as to an intention and state of mind. This was an act involving theft, which is chargeable under the laws of the state of Kentucky and which is punishable by imprisonment for more than 1 year. Okay, Miss Hawker, right? We've got another theft by taking, Carlos Torres. Okay, November 2017. 1998 Prevost vehicle. We're seeing a pattern here. Okay. Unlawfully taking a 1998 Prevost vehicle, the property of Carlos Torres, the value of which was exceeded $24,999.99 with the intent of depriving the owner. Carlos Torres. Okay. Somebody asked, how many victims are there? It seems like a lot. Okay. Deposit account fraud in DeKalb County by making, drawing, delivering a check, an instrument for the payment of money to Carlos Torres. So not only did he take Carlos Torres' property, it appears that he wrote him a hot checker. Okay. A hot check. Carlos Torres in the amount of $9,000 for present consideration of the 1998 Provost vehicle, knowing that said check would not be honored by the drawee. This was an act involving theft, which is chargeable under the laws of the state of Georgia and which is punishable by imprisonment for more than 1 year. Baby, theft by bringing stolen property into the state. God, you know what I'm saying? Like, hopefully someone is keeping track of these names for me. Felony offense, theft by bringing stolen property. Baby, in 2018, they accused Nesto of bringing a 2011 Rolls Royce Ghost, the property of Specialty Car Collection, the value exceeding 24,999 and 99 cents into the state of Georgia. Knowingly said property had been stolen from Los Angeles, California. Okay, baby. 2018, Ernest Williams, another felony, theft by taking. They said he took Juan Smith's money, baby. Juan Smith, theft by taking, unlawfully taking United States currency and property of Juan Smith, the value of which was at 5,000 less than 25,000, with the intention of depriving the owner of said property. Okay, baby. 2018. We're going high level. You guys can read through this. All you have to do is stop and read. And I've posted this many times. Let's see. California by falsely. So 2018, I wasn't even there. I was in California. Okay. Well, clearly you were in California because you were busy in California. Okay. On or about February 3rd, 2018, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of grand theft auto, a little bit of GTA, okay, in Los Angeles, California, by feloniously stealing, taking, driving away with a 2008 Fleetwood Providence vehicle, the property of Rebecca Baker. This was an act involving theft, which is chargeable under the laws of the state of California and which is punishable by imprisonment. Okay, Rebecca Baker. Okay, and what did he do? Seems like what he did to Carlos Torres. Was it Carlos Torres? When he, okay, 2018, making and delivering a check with insufficient funds in violation of California Penal Code 476A, by for himself willfully and with intent to defraud, making a check in the amount of $20,000 to Rebecca Baker for payment of money, knowing at the time of that making that he had not sufficient funds in the bank for the payment of that check and all other checks then outstanding in full upon its presentation. This was an act involving theft, which is chargeable under the laws of the state of California. Okay, Rebecca Baker, not only is it the property, but it's also that hot check. Okay. Pat is in the work bushes. Okay, Pat, we see you, boo boo. Okay. We see you. We see all of you guys. Make sure to double tap on that screen, you guys. We have more than half who have not tapped in. I see you here, but I'm not feeling you here. Go ahead and double tap so I know the show me some love and drop me some likes. Okay, 402. We got 200 likes. Question: how could Nesto read this Rico and not understand how much evidence Hoover has? You mean how much Wooten has? Not understand how much Hoover should have like his discovery, you mean, as his defense attorney, but it would be Wooten prosecuting, if that's what you mean. But I feel you. I understand what you're saying. Absolutely seeing this and not knowing like, uh-oh, they done dragged all my skeletons out the closet, right? Is that what you're talking about? Dion has about 4 or 5 cars too. Larissa, Miss Piggy Braxton, Larissa said he can't read, boo. Maybe that's the problem because Nesto can't read. Okay. Sunshine, all he knows is Sonia, bread, and water, and sausage for Cheryl. He can't read the documents. Wow. He better learn. He can't read. Y'all saying he can't read. He can't read. Wow. Okay. Where are we? Rebecca Baker. Okay, 2018, we are at Big Tech's 20 PH trailer, the property of Big Tech's Trailer World, the value of 5,000 but less than 25,000, depriving the owner of the property, and that's on some theft by taking. That's Big Tech's Trailer World, okay? Next, um we're looking at deposit account fraud, another hot that went to deposit account fraud, Henry County, Georgia, by making, drawing, delivering check number 888, an instrument for payment of money to Wells Fargo, the check located within the state of Georgia, to Big Tech's trailer. So he obtained property and he wrote a hot check. We've seen at least 3 of those now, maybe 4. Maybe 4. Okay. He gets property, he writes a bad check. Okay, we have at least 4 of those right now. Next, still 2018, just a month later, isn't that funny? 2018, he said he was in California, but he was in Georgia at Big Tech's trailer. But a month later, he's over there back in Orange County, California, on some grand theft. According to Act 17, sir, in Orange County, by grand theft by feloniously stealing and taking labor and personal property of Source Motors, including a fender well rack, a Momo steering wheel, an adapter, headlights, center console rack, D-ring guard, windshield guard, a mirror set with the value exceeding $950. This was an act involving theft, which is chargeable under the laws of the state of California. Grand theft. Okay. Another hot check in California, $6,361 to Source Motors. So all of those things that were mentioned before, baby, he defrauded by making, delivering a check in the amount of $6,361.81, making and delivering with insufficient funds, okay, to Source Motors for payment, knowing at the time that making and delivering that he had not sufficient funds in the bank for the payment, and that the check and all other checks then outstanding in full upon its presentation. Okay. 2019, theft by taking, Rashida Sanders. Okay. Unlawfully taking United States currency and a 2012 Ford Transit Connect vehicle, property of Rashida. The value 5,000 but less than 25,000, with the intention of depriving the owner of said property. Rashida, damn, her 2012 Ford Transit Connect vehicle. Okay. Rashida Sanders. All righty. 2019, he had the nerve to go back to Big Tech's again. Theft by taking, trailer, property of Big Tech's, value of 5,000 less than 25,000. A check in the amount of $1,500 presented to consideration for Big Tech's trailer, knowing the check would not to be honored by the drawee, and was an act of involving theft, which is chargeable under the laws of the state of Georgia. Another deposit account fraud. Act 22, theft by taking. This was with Calvin Cawthon, 5,000 less than 25,000, with the intent of depriving the owner. What did he? Theft by taking, violation, unlawfully taking property of Calvin Cawthon. This might have been the one for the credit repair services. Okay. 2021, filing false documents in violation of OCGA 161020.1, Interesting, Sonia hasn't used her 30 years of experience to find legal statutes that support her claim that Nesta was innocent and being railroaded. Baby, where'd all these people come from? Um by knowingly filing a document titled Amended Answers, Defense, and Counterclaims in the matter of Vista Ray Property versus Shirley Strawberry, case number 20 ED 167485 in the Magistrate Court of Fulton County, knowing and having reason to know that the document was false and contained materially false statements, representation in the document, and had been prepared and filed by April Holloway and attorney Nicholas Benzine, which was an act of racketeering, stealing two attorneys' names. Okay. Identity theft. Okay. Using the name of April Holloway, identifying information concerning this person, the false document, amended answers, defense, and counterclaims in Fulton County with against case number 20 ED 16785. Identity fraud against attorney Nicholas Benzine, using his name on the amended answers, defense, and counterclaims according to this case with Vista Ray Properties against Shirley Strawberry. 2021 again, Earnest Williams willfully and fraudulently without authorization and consent using the name of April Holloway, identifying information concerning persons by falsely representing to Judge Todd Ashley that King was his attorney. The fact that you sat there mute, the fact that you sat there and let someone sit in front of a judge on official business by your wife, but of your wife's name with a fake ass attorney, you sat next to her and let her conduct business with your wife's name. And what? Okay. 2021 false documents. Again, Vista Ray Property versus Shirley Strawberry. The magistrate court knowingly having a person to know that the document was false and contained materially false statements and representation, that the document had been prepared and filed by April Holloway and Nicholas Benzine. This was an act of racketeering activity pursuant to OCGA 1614-3. Knowingly filing a document titled Notice of Appeal in the matter Vista Ray Property versus Shirley Strawberry. Okay. You sat there. Okay. 2021, Earnest solicited and coerced Erica King to commit felony offense of identity fraud without authorization, content, and consent using the name of April Holloway, identifying information concerning a person and a false document, notice of appeal. Identity theft, again, notice of appeal using Nicholas Benzine's name. Theft by taking, and now we're looking at Regina Delaney exceeding $24,999.99. Theft by taking a 2020 Harley Davidson FLTRXS vehicle, property of Regina. Okay. Theft by taking the Big Tex trailer, property of Regina. More than 5, less than 25. Okay. We've also got felony offense of false statements and writings in violation of a statement to Sandy Springs Police Detective I. Tomlin that King was an attorney, was attorney April Holloway, and that King was an attorney who lawfully represented Earnest Williams during a criminal investigation being conducted by Tomlin, the statements being written in justification of Sandy Springs Police Department, the department. So I wonder if this is the one where Sandy Springs was calling about Regina Delaney's motorcycle and Erica King wrote that letter He had Erica King write a letter with April Holloway's name against Regina Delaney, who actually had a valid claim that he had taken her motorcycle, made her look crazy, had Erica King write a letter, and it was all phony baloney. We just had some lightning, y'all, and I wanted to go to the ball. Okay. Next, identity fraud, Sandy Springs. Let's talk about it. Fulton County, Georgia, by willfully, fraudulently, without authorization, consent, using the name of April Holloway, identifying information concerning a person by falsely representing Sandy Springs Police Department Detective Tomlin in a three-way phone call conversation with Earnest Williams and King, that King was attorney April Holloway while purporting to represent Earnest Williams. So there's multiple occasions where Nesto presented Erica King as one person. No, he can't lie and say he thought Erica King was an attorney when your alleged attorney is calling herself April Holloway. Which one is it? Which one is it? Which one is it? Okay. On April 1st, 2021, Ernest Williams solicited and coerced Erica King to commit the felony offense of identity fraud by willfully, fraudulently, without authorization and consent, using the name of April Holloway, identifying information concerning a person by falsely representing Sandy Springs Police Department Detective Tomlin in a one-on-one phone call conversation with King. Was April Holloway and purporting to represent Ernest Williams in a criminal investigation being conducted by Tomlin. Again, identity theft, Sandy Springs communication. Yes, so that's again another identity theft. Theft by taking Fulton County by unlawfully taking the 1998 Prevost Royale vehicle that belonged the property of Gail Bickham, the value which exceeded $24,999.99, with the intention of depriving the owner of said property. Okay. Theft by taking, the violation of unlawfully taking a 2021 Mercedes-Benz GLE, property of Gail Bickham, the value of which exceeded $24,999.99, with the intention of depriving the owner of said property. Theft of services, knowingly obtaining vehicle repair services of which were available only for compensation, and the value of which was at least 1,501 but less than 5,000 from Palmer Dodge Jeep and Ram by deception and the intent to avoid payment. 2021, another deposit account fraud, $2,774 to Palmer Dodge Chrysler Jeep and Ram. A check 212, an instrument for payment of money on Navy Federal Credit Union, a bank located within the state of Georgia. The amount $2,774.40 for the present consideration of a vehicle repair, knowing that said check would not be honored. Okay. Financial transaction card fraud. This is with Melody Scretchen, the teacher, with the intent to defraud Precinct 1 auto sales. Melody Scretchen, obtaining goods and services, the value of $2,000, and giving orally and writing a MasterCard financial transaction card account number ending in 8161 to Precinct 1 Auto Sales, the provider of goods and services, for billing purposes without the authorization and permission of Melody Scretchen, the card holder for such use. Okay. Melody Scretchen again. Card number 8161, and this was identity fraud without authorization or consent. Okay, so the first one was identity fraud. Okay, financial transaction fraud and then identity fraud. Okay, financial transaction fraud, Laura's Trucks. This is all Melody Scretchen because he used her credit cards. So it's a financial transaction card fraud, and then it's an identity. So using the card without, so the actual transaction and then the use of the card without permission, I guess is the identity fraud. So that's Laura's Trucks, and then with Melody Scretchen for $1,071.12. Then the identity fraud, then another transaction fraud for $800 with Laura's Trucks on Melody Scretchen. Then we're looking at the identity fraud for Melody Scretchen, another financial transaction for $1,000 with Laura's Trucks, another identity theft. Damn, all of these financial transaction frauds at Laura Trucks. These are all Melody Scretchen, Melody Scretchen, Melody Scretchen. Then a 2018 Nissan Altima, knowingly taking the 2018 Nissan Altima vehicle, property of Melody Scretchen, at least 5,000, less than 25, intentionally to deprive the owner. Filing false statements, notice of appearance and substitution of counsel. Regina Delaney versus Ernest Williams. She tried to sue him to get her bike back and used Erica King as an attorney. That was a problem. So she did try to go criminal route. She ended up going civil route. He used Erica King to file the papers. So filing false documents, identity fraud. Identity fraud, Judge Ashley Drake, that King was an attorney, April Holloway, while purporting to represent Earnest in a warrant application hearing in Fulton County Magistrate Court. Theft by taking, Christine Mays, taking U.S. currency property of Christine Mays, the value of exceeding $24,999 with the intention to deprive the owner of the property. Theft by taking. Theft by taking. Olivia Washington, exceeding $24,999 with the intention of depriving the owner of said property. 2021 Harley Davidson. Felony of identity fraud, Eileen Moorman, okay, in Fulton County by willingly and fraudulently without notification, consent, using the name of attorney Eileen Moorman, identifying information concerning a person's in fraudulent demand letter addressed to Mark Krall. If you didn't know anything about Mark Krall and you didn't rent that property, why did Erica King need to write a letter in your name using Eileen Moorman's name and send it to Mark Krall? Can you tell us? Ernest Williams committed a felony offense, theft by taking a 2002 Provost Liberty, property of Gail Bickham, the value exceeding $24,999.99 with the intention of depriving the owner of said property. It's so many damn charges. It's just ridiculous. Okay. Okay, so we get to Gail Bickham. Now it goes into the counts. It gets repetitive at this point because the counts, most of the acts that are under count one are some of the counts, or most of the counts. So there were 57 acts under count one, and then there's a total of 39 counts. So let's see. Let's read some because some that were not on here. Ooh, I feel like I need a drink of water. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. Thank you guys. Thank you. I did nothing to those people. Interesting. Sonia hasn't used her 30 years of experience in legal statutes to support her claim that Nesto is innocent and being railroaded. Has she ever bothered to actually read this full document? I ain't did nothing to those people. That don't make no sense. I'm an innocent man. Nesto thought he was untouchable and not. Okay. Okay. Phew. Okay. Here we go. So keep in mind, so that was all count one, and then the 57 acts under count one. You guys following me? Now we're at count two. Okay. Count two is the grand jurors. So this is what they're accusing him under everything under Rico. Okay. Now, under the counts, and the grand jurors aforesaid, in the name and behalf of the citizens of Georgia, hereby charge and accuse Ernest Williams. And we're just going to go high level. I'm not going to read everything in depth. But we've got, let me clear this. Thank you for your member milestone, boo boo. So wonder, Sonia didn't buy a Prevost Liberty to impress. He will take that away from her. She's stupid. She better hold on to her stuff, because Nesto will have her trading that in. He'll take it, trade it, take her money, get something, and be in the wind. Okay. And if you don't believe us, Sonia, why don't you try him and see what he does with it? When and if he ever gets out, why don't you let him have your RV and see what he does with it? I bet you won't. Okay. Count two. And the grand jurors aforesaid, okay, in the name, the offense of false swearing. So we saw that already. December 16th, unlawfully having been administered a lawful oath and having executed a document knowing it was purported to be an acknowledgement of the law oath, knowingly and willingly made a false statement that each of Ernest Williams' prior marriages had been dissolved. Okay. So this is the document that he would have sworn after he filled out his document that he was able to marry. And this was part of the process of marrying Shirley. Then he filed a false document, which was the marriage license. That was a problem. So that was filing false statements. Then bigamy, when he actually married Shirley, that they are accusing him of bigamy, January 9th, 2015, unlawfully while being married to Martha Halliburton Williams, and knowingly that his lawful spouse was living, married Shirley Clark Strawberry, and carried on a bigamous cohabitation with Shirley Clark Strawberry, and said crime was unknown until April 12th of 2024, contrary to the laws of the state and good order. Theft by taking. Are we back at Rashida? So a lot of this repeats. So these are now the counts versus the acts. So because I guess so the acts so they're acts under the actual RICO activity, but then these are also standalone counts, right? So there's the reasons under the initial RICO activity, but then there's the individual counts by themselves, right? So that's why this is all kind of repeating itself. So pretty much everything, this is all the same stuff. So Rashida, we're looking at Calvin Cawthon, count 6, let's see, count 4, count 5, the transit for Rashida Sanders, Calvin Cawthon. Now the theft of the construction services, do I see that in here? I don't know if that doesn't get counted as a count. Conspiracy to commit unauthorized practice of law. So that's different. That's a different count, but it was like identity theft and something else. Um, Erica King, a duly licensed attorney, did practice and appear as an attorney for Ernest Williams before the magistrate of Fulton County, Georgia, did hold herself out to Judge Todd Ashley as being entitled to practice law and did render legal services in Fulton County Magistrate Court under case number 20 ED 167485, which were overt acts to effect the object of the conspiracy, and said crime was unknown until at least June 10th of 2022, contrary to the laws of said state, good order, peace, and dignity thereof. Um, let's see. Okay. So Ernest Williams, Erica King, with the offense of filing false documents for the said accused individually as a person concerned in the commission of a crime, Fulton County, Georgia, on or about February 1st, 2021, unlawfully, knowingly filed documents, amended answers, defense and counterclaims in the matter of Vista Ray property, case number 20 ED 167485 in the magistrate court, knowingly and having reason to know that the document was false and contained materially false statements and representation that the document had been prepared and filed by attorney April Holloway and Nicholas Benzine. And it just goes on and on. We read most of this before in the acts. I mean, this is just when Nesto says he doesn't know what people are talking about. As far as the victims, did anybody keep count? I mean, I would say I mean, like I said, I think there was at least 15 to 20. I need to go back into it to get all of the names, but this was bad. And he knows it. That's why he won't go in depth trying to explain his way out of it, because there's no way to explain the unexplainable. There's just too much going on here. Mm-mm-mm. Let me see what you guys are saying. Whew. Twin mom, thank you. Sonia said there is no evidence. Okay. Well, there's too much evidence. Isn't that what Will Wooten said? You can't be mad that there's too much evidence, right? Don't be mad that there's too much, okay? A lot, y'all. Ooh. Oh, my God. Can you maybe tomorrow read the correspondence back and forth with the realtor company on Ben Creek and show how Dominique was posing as Shirley? I've done that. I did that before. Okay, so this is the deal with that. Some of that kind of borders a little bit on like too much for YouTube. And the reason why I say that is because I've had videos taken down before and I don't want to do too much. I feel like that video is in members. It's definitely on Patreon, but it's a member video, I think. Um, I'll have to look and kind of read through that information to see what I could read on YouTube that doesn't say too much, because We don't know what's actually real and what was like some of Shirley's actual information and what wasn't. And I don't want anyone flagging. You know what I mean? I don't want to flag and a privacy situation. So that's the reason why I purposely did not do it. And I know other people have read it, but it's that damn computer. I could read something and it's not a problem. Someone else reads something, it's a problem. I just, you know what I mean? Even last month, I had a video taken down. I didn't say anything about it because I don't believe in telling you guys, like, oh my God, YouTube just took down a video or they demonetized a video of mine. I don't even bother because that's just how it goes. I don't even bother to tell you guys, but they did. They took one down. It up and disappeared. So when I post stuff to randomly post stuff to my Patreon and you can't see it on YouTube anymore, then that's a clear indication that they took it down. But usually that stuff is still available on Facebook. So if so let me see. I'll see what I can read. But yes, for those of you guys who don't know, and this is a topic that you're interested in, it's definitely in my Patreon. We did that a while ago. We did like a whole 2-hour live and read a lot of that Vista Ray stuff. It's just some stuff, actually really is Shirley's private information. So I just wanted to be thoughtful, even though Nesto wasn't caring about throwing her information around. I didn't want to do that because, girl, it had check stubs and everything. Now, could they have been false and invalid paycheck stubs? Absolutely. But in the event that they're actually really real, I know I would be mortified if by chance I was in Shirley's situation and the blogs were reading my paycheck stubs. You know what I mean? So even though I did still read them, I just didn't want to put them out in the open and stuff. But yeah, Nesto he's a fool. Hmm. But there may be a couple that we can read, like when Nesto was going back and forth with Vista Ray, talking about we will pay rent. So Vista Ray Property was reaching out to Nesto about paying rent, and he said that he had done some renovations that I'm assuming nobody asked him to do, and saying that he had other rent to pay and all kinds of foolishness, a mess. Nesto was giving Shirley's information. Girl, I wouldn't say he was giving it to everybody, but he was certainly acting like he was handling her business, right? Which he wasn't. I think he was just trying to do damage control. But yeah, that's just a nutshell. This was a high level overview. I'll find some of the emails that don't go too much into Shirley's business and don't have I'll find a couple of things that we can talk about. But then if you want like the details and the breakdown of Vista Ray Property, then I'll direct you to where it's posted. Cuz shoot, it's crazy. It's crazy. I could do a video like this and you know what I mean? Like I don't like to say too much cuz there's just people out here that just need an idea of something to do to, make folk life miserable, and I don't want to give out any, you know what I'm saying? So fake unauthorized in renovations, absolutely. Now the next person could pull up all that stuff and it's not a problem, but me for some reason, girl, mm, it's okay. All right, let's I feel like my mouth is tired already from reading so much. Okay, we're going to leave this one. I feel like let's leave this one as a Nesto video, and then I think I'll read this other indictment tomorrow. I'm already tired. Maybe because I've been live all day. I've literally been live all day. So let me go ahead. It's 4 o'clock. As far as I'm concerned, you can start bubbling up all the videos from the beginning. I'm gonna watch. Oh, I mean, it depends on what you want to watch. You know that there's the whole Ernest Williams playlist. There's about a month from the beginning of Uncut in there. There is specifically a playlist that I funnel videos that are kind of particularly like, damn, Sonya ran her mouth, called Sonya talked her ass off. So I have a couple of different Nesto playlists, but the main playlist, if you sort it from oldest to newest, hold on a second. I'm sure you guys know how to do this. Let me show you. Hold on. Okay. Some of the Nesto hearings, if you go to hearings, and this can be lots of different hearings in here, but I have a hearings playlist. Okay. Just explore. It doesn't cost you anything. Just go and check out what's in there. Some people like to watch hearing court proceeding videos. Okay, let's see. Nesto tablet visits. Nesto uncut. Where is the rest of? Where is the Nesto folder? Oh, here. Okay. I didn't see it right away. Okay, so right here, this has like all the videos, well, most of all the videos that I've done, and you just have to sort it by you can sort it from oldest to, right now it's at the newest, and then you just sort it by the oldest. And I guess that's not my video. Maybe I put that in here just for context. It's always funny to watch this video. Let's watch this one. We haven't seen this one in a long time. This is the one that makes I feel like Sonya so mad.
People have been arrested on a number of fraud charges.
Fox 5's Denise Dillon talked to Roswell police about the pair's extensive business scheme and why they believe there are more victims.
Police say for years these two would convince people to give them money, and in return they would help them with their business or personal goals. But investigators say it was nothing but a scam.
Nothing.
I would consider them fraudsters.
Roswell police say for years Ernesto Williams and Erica King passed themselves off as experts in various fields.
And they would align themselves with their victims with promises of being able to grow their brands, their missions, their life goals, their social media followings.
Detectives say Williams and King acted the part, and people paid good money for their services, but walked away with nothing. Police say it was all a scam.
More than a dozen victims and over $1 million in monetary and property loss.
Police say their investigation first started at this home on Pine Grove Road months ago. Investigators say after Williams and King hadn't paid rent for a while, detectives started looking into their financial transactions, and it led them to their extensive scheme. Police say they were convincing.
individuals who have been doing this for a significant period of time and are proficient enough that they can make people comfortable and act against their better judgment.
Williams and King are now in jail, both facing multiple charges of fraud, forgery, and theft. Police warn if you want to grow your business, make sure you work with a legitimate company.
Try and go with very reputable businesses if you're trying to grow your brand, grow your business, so that you don't end up a victim.
Of those 12 fooled, some were here in Roswell, others across metro Atlanta, and even a couple out of state. And police believe there are many other victims. If you have had any dealings with King or Williams, call police. In Roswell, Denise Dillon, Fox 5 News.
Denise Dillon, Fox 5 News. Okay, girl, where it all started. So yeah, there's the Earnest playlist. Ozempic, Erica. Hey, boo boo. Hey, 504. Look at young Vicky. Okay, look at young Vicky to the veil. Okay. All right, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and pack this one in. We'll get with Sheriff Marcos a little bit later or tomorrow and get into that indictment. It will hold another day. She's punching the air in the hot van right now. Girl, she should be. I would not be sitting there and baking like a cake or a cinnamon roll in that stupid box that she decided to live in. It's the dumbest thing ever. I mean, there's nothing wrong with RVing if you're RVing and having a good time and enjoying your life, but if you're on the run, you're on the lam, you're on the stupid, have fun with that, because most people who are living that lifestyle, they're having a good time, they're going places, they're enjoying, they're seeing sights, they're making friends, they're going to places that they want to kind of experience, they're taking long trips. They're not just sitting and baking in a vehicle. Like, I watched a bunch of episodes of Diana, the lady from Wanderlust, and that lady goes everywhere. She's enjoying herself. She is crazy and she's having fun. I absolutely enjoy her channel. It's hilarious. I don't know what Sonya's doing over there, sitting there watching people at the damn Walmart. Girl, like a whole baked potato. Just stupid. Okay. Trying to get caught up in there from heat exhaustion. But let her. That's her business. Let her have fun with that. Girl, she's got to be. Why she. Look, I'm sorry. 50 something years old. She's almost 60. Why is she still sitting there with her period? She might need to go get checked out. Okay. Girl. No. There's no reason to still have it at that age. Like, come on now. I can get with her kind of crazy. I absolutely can. She's funny. I like Diana. Anyway, guys, who's Diana? A channel called Wanderlust. Just Google it. Wanderlust. Her name is Diana, and she is she's a nomad and she lives in her Cadillac. She's funny AF. Watch, don't watch. You don't have to let me know if you don't like it. It's okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? We all like different things. I'm just saying, as far as people who do van life, most of these people kind of enjoy what they're doing. That's my point. It's not specific to one person and whatever, whatever you like or whatever you don't like. It's cool. My main point is that she seems miserable. She's hot. It's just giving trying to run from bills. It's trying to run from adulting. It's giving, why aren't you adulting? You're too big age should not be adulting in this manner, but that's her business. You went down the Wanderlust rabbit hole. She's funny, isn't she? Did you guys see the episode when she got locked out her car at the beach? Sonia is 97 in dog years. Girl. Period. It's her escape from nasty, but really not because she talks to him all the time. And it's like if it's like most channels, if you listen long enough, you will hear stuff about her life and what's been going on. So, because I was wondering if she had kids and everything, I felt like I heard her say once before that she had been married, but apparently she's got 2 kids. She had kids when she was a teenager, like 19 years old. So her kids have to be super grown now, like Nesta would say. They got to be super grown, and she says I'm basically an empty nester, right? It's a channel, it's a van life channel. We talked about it last week. Last week we looked at a little bit of her camping vlog just because I just showed it to you guys cuz it was funny. But yeah, we talked about it. I can't remember what day we talked about it last week, but we did talk about it for a few minutes and we had a laugh because she was crazy. Something she did reminded me a little bit of Sonya, and I pulled up her channel to show you guys, but it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? It's just another channel that I watch. I saw the kids pick when they were young. Yeah, it was cute. Yeah. They must be like super grown because she's got to be in her 50s. She's definitely, if she's not 60, but I would say she's probably got to be, she's 50-ish, right? She was the one who was cooking the steaks, and girl, big girl, she was in there with like a damn miniature, what do you call that thing? Like a miniature Blackstone, cooking all kinds of burgers and greasy shit inside of her Cadillac. That thing was hilarious. Y'all. Okay, well, let me change this title because obviously we're not doing Sheriff Marcos Lopez today because your girl is tired. You guys have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you to everybody who came through. Make sure to please double tap the screen for me. If you are new here and you are not subscribed, I am always working on my numbers and never too shy to ask for you to subscribe to this channel and make sure your notifications are set. If you're not subscribed to this channel, why are you not? um Make sure to subscribe so you can set your notifications so you can be notified every time I go live, post a video, do all of the things, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you to everybody who dropped me a little bit of love, a little super. Thank you so much. Member milestones, thank y'all. Y'all are awesome, and I appreciate it very much. It's very much appreciated. It was a great live. Well, thank you. Thank you. Girl, the lady with the high blood pressure. I think we were talking about like medical emergencies in your van or whatever. Girl, it tied in some type of way, but float through last week's lives and it's up in there. But she's just a channel. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Oh, thank you, 504. You're so sweet. You guys are amazing and I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed today. We'll see each other either a little later or tomorrow. If I don't have anything to talk about, baby, I will see y'all tomorrow. I'm going to do some reading about what happened with Diddy. So maybe we'll have a little Diddy catch up tomorrow. I know it's been a minute since we got caught up with Miss Janice. Miss Janice hadn't been bringing the fashions. Last week, she wore a little tracksuit and she looked cute, but they've been having her in her same little pants and cheetah print cheetah print blouses, and it's been raining in New York, so she was wearing her hat. One day she had on like a very big blonde wig. We may have to get caught up on Miss Janice or something like that, and I want to read up on what happened with the juror that they got rid of and find out if, I'm sure they're asking for mistrial again. They're going to keep saying no until they can't say no, but we'll see. I'm sure something else is bound to happen soon. So they just have to keep plugging away, keep plugging away. Girl, Miss Janice's wigs are crazy. Thank you, Pen Pal. Miss Janice is like, my God, my son and his penis. Jesus. I know she is tired of hearing about her son's sex life. I'm tired of hearing about her son's sex life. If you watched Armand last night, you were in for a treat. One of the escorts, baby, he told the whole thing. He gave us all the information about the whole thing. So if you missed it, get caught up before he goes live tonight at 7. Go get it. Go get caught up. He told everything. Okay. All right. All right, you guys. Take care. Have a good afternoon.